Hey guys, this is Helene with a restart. We are going to be working on the Art Snacks December box, which I realize is a month late, but December is a very, very busy month for me. So we are going to do something a little different this month. I had, like I said, a busy month. And sorry, I couldn't help myself. I got a little Swedish fish and I had to make it swim in the ocean. So you'll just have to excuse my insanity of dealing with the Swedish fish for like 20 minutes. I cut this. Okay, I cut this. That's how crazy this is. So anyhow, I didn't do a big full oh, by the way, do you guys ever save these little bubble packages and use them for backgrounds? I love to put paint on them and stamp them on backgrounds of my artwork. It's so much fun. Anyways, normally I do this and I make a big stink of all the different tools and everything. Today we're going to talk about each individual tool and try them. This is the Monotwin oil-based marker. It's awesome. I've been using it all month. I'm sorry I cheated. We got the Copic Multiliner set, which are in black, and they are, I think there's like 5 of them, and a pretty good set. We got the Edding acrylic marker, broad marker, an Elegant Midnight. Yeah, how many are in those? Oh yeah, the set of 4. Fine black set of 4. And then we got the Tombow dual brush pens, which I've used before. I got like an orangey red color. It looks really orange, but it's actually got almost a pinky red to it, and brown. Of course, we got our Swedish fish. And then we got the, I have to try to say this. Are you ready? The Mule, the Zig Zag book. I did not exactly know what to do with these. I got a small one and a big one in the Art Snacks Plus menu thing. Now, like I said, I'm doing it a little bit different. I did this a lot quicker because I honestly am trying to do some other videos, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to pretend I have a huge audience and that they're like requiring a lot of me, because maybe then I'll get there. Oh, and the sticker. You saw the sticker. But I always do like this big test, but because I'm playing catch up and I want to get to January in 2022 and all my new projects, I'm kind of running through this a little bit quicker. So I am going to do a little artwork for you. I simplified it a little bit. Just to kind of show you the tools, because I cannot skip it because I'm just too OCD to skip a month. So I apologize for that, but you'll see it's a fun thing, you know. We're going to talk a little bit more about each of these. Originally I wanted to do like a little comic book. I have a little book I'm working on. I thought about sketching it out in here, which I may do because I'm only going to use the small 2x2 Hanamule Zig Zag book here. So I did it a little different. That going from the beginning, that's my point. We did it a little different. Here we go. We're going to start playing with the tools. Okay, so our first tool of the day is the Tombow Monotwin permanent marker. It retails at $3.39. It is an oil-based marker that has a fine nib and a broad nib or tip. The lines are super black. It's not water soluble, and it is amazing. It's smear proof. Oh my god, I can't even tell you guys how much I love this. I actually went looking for it. I want more of them. I've got the Edding 5000 acrylic marker broad, which I just used, and you'll see that $7.99. It's a new product, also super pigmented, and of course you can wet it. I used one of my water brushes that I just keep nearby to kind of play with these tools. Look how pigmented this is. Oh dear Lord, the blue is so pretty. I could not help myself. I had to use something with water. It was just too awesome. And these colors together are actually really pretty. Plus I could get some neutrals, which was nice. And then you can see like the pinky orange and the brown. Those are the Tombow dual brush pens. They're $3.99 each. Sorry, $3.19 each. I mean, they have a fine tip and they have a brush tip, nylon brush tip. You can create a variety of strokes. If you've never used these, you know, I love water-based markers, and I'll tell you, they are one of my favorites. They're great for journaling. They're great for coloring books. They just are good overall markers. They seem to last a long time. Yeah, they're good. So that, and then the 2x2 little Zig Zag book, that's the Art Snacks regular book. I'm sorry, regular box. And then in the plus box, let me learn how to speak today. You get a 6x4 Zig Zag book, which is where I was doing the, pulling the book open and close. I haven't used it yet because I'm like, what am I going to do? It's got to be special. But anyhow, so you get that, and then you get the Copic and that's $17 retail. It's also new. Then you get the Copic Multiliners, the set of 4 fine black, 0.03, 0.05, 0.1, and 0.3 millimeter. They're alcohol-based. You can use them over the Copic, the alcohol-based markers. They're great for detail work. They write smoothly. I mean, they're, archival pigment ink, waterproof. You can use the ink when it's wet still with water. So I did utilize that, and you can see in my little tray I pre-mixed some things just so I had another option. And then, of course, when they are dry, they're dry and you can't move them with water. But the oil-based marker, that is I'm sorry, I just love that marker. I think it's so cool. I've been looking for more. I'm like, I want that. I like Tombow, I think. I never realized how much I like Tombow, but I do. So anyhow, let's talk about the artwork. So I decided that because I had this long thing and I didn't want to do a comic book type deal in the smaller little book, that I don't know, my head went to snake. See how cute he is? I know it freaks everybody out, I'm sure, but I don't love snakes personally, but they are extremely fun to draw, and you can do all kinds of twists and curves. So I did cheat a little bit and take a pencil. Like I said, I was on the move in December, and I was like everybody else, and I was like, I have got to get something done for December. At least use the tools. So yes, I cheated by using a pencil and a water brush. But I kept with it. I kept with my colors, okay? I kept with the colors. I didn't move too far from that, but I had to sketch something out. It was just too hard to do with the tools that I had. So, and like, I'm an okay artist and I can come up with some things, but I was like, man, I'm going to get this on here and I only have one. It's not like I had multiple pieces of paper I could choose from. I also had to decide if I was going to do it on like the side that had 8 pages or the side that I could do 6 pages. So I still have a whole nother side that I could create, like maybe another snake or something else. And I don't really know what you can do with this. I mean, you could probably do individual artworks, like mini artworks on here. You could separate the pages if you wanted to. You could do like a little story. You could do it like a journal. I mean, there's so many things you can use it for. It's a cool book. And the the pages, there's 18 pages total. I guess it's front and back. They're watercolor paper. It's watercolor paper. There's it's accordion folded, and it's 300 GSM, so it's fine grain. But I'll tell you, it handled water beautifully. I really enjoyed the paper. I'm excited to use the bigger one. I really am. I just got to figure out what I want to put in it. So anyhow, so I'm going back to what I'm working on here is my little snake. I'm sorry about my camera, like freaked out a few times and decided it didn't know where to zoom at or where to focus at. And I'm not sure why it does that. It seems to do it when I put it on auto. So usually I put it on manual. But I must have switched it to auto. And when I was recording, it did this like, where am I at right now kind of thing. So I think I need to get another camera at some point. I don't know. We'll see. So I use my phone sometimes too, but I've got the setup on my desk, and it's just easier to do it that way. So anyhow, so I started with this little snake. I did a little bit of research, and I looked up a few different. It originally started as just a regular snake, not a sea snake necessarily. But then I was like, oh, I can mix the two. I really wanted it to be a little bit more fantasy, mixed with reality, but because I had a very limited color palette, I knew that I had to work within that range. So I knew I could do the white of the paper, the blue from the acrylic marker, which we can talk more about when I do the water here. the black, and then of course with the markers you can get a little bit of gray, the Copic pens you can get some gray if you water it down. The brown, which I was able to get a couple different levels of brown, and then mixing all those things up. So I had several different things that I could do, but I loved the idea when I did my sample page of that like blue, brown, kind of orange tone. Now, on the camera, the color, that orange Tombow watercolor marker looks much more orange than it actually is. It's very much almost like a coral color, but I was feeling it. I was all right with it. I liked the color. I thought it was a really cool, pretty, I was able to get skin tones with it. So I mixed, what did I mix? I mixed the orange and the blue, which you would think would obviously like totally mud it out, but it gave me this really pretty purpley, almost skin color, which is, I know it's like a neutral beigey purple. And as long as I watered it down enough, I was able to get like you'll see I do some little like mermaids in the distance. So I did their tails that color. I did some of their skin that color. I didn't have green, of course. And there was really no way to make green because the orange was red based. So originally I was thinking, okay, I can make green, but it wasn't, there was not enough yellow. So I couldn't make it work. So I did it this way. I did the snake's body, white and gray. And I did not, you'll see this in a minute, but I did not record the entire fill-in of the painting with the supplies because I'm a moron and the camera stopped and I didn't realize it. So you get to see the drawing, which is cool. Now, when you're doing any kind of curved snake or like rounded edges or anything that you want them to overlap, for me, it's easier to draw the whole thing out and then go back and decide what's laying on top of what. So I do go back in and put a few details in here, erase the areas that I want to overlap, and then do it almost like you would do like a curled piece of hair. I also lay in where I want the sky and the ocean to be. I wanted it to look like he was kind of starting on the beach and then going into the water. So it wasn't like, it's like you were following his tail through the water, not going like, okay, he's here, okay, he's here, okay, he's here. Does that make sense? So he goes like, you're following him into the water. So you start on shore, then you go sort of into this shallower water. So the water is a little bit, less blue. And then you get the blue sort of horizon area and the lighter sky area that is, what's the best way to explain it? Like, getting more light from the sun, I guess, is probably the best way to explain it. Right? So I was talking to my mom earlier today. And I was like, I want to do more videos and I want to figure out how I can sell my paintings more online. And this is something I've been sort of, playing with the idea of doing for a long time. And I think we came up with something. So you guys will have to follow. It's not necessarily art-based, but I'm hoping people will get to know my personality better because I can be funny. If I'm not doing art stuff, I can be funny because I feel like I have to stick to the art stuff when I'm doing this. So hopefully that'll, be fun. But anyway, so here I'm drawing out some rock formations, a little jellyfish, some little fish. I ended up adding like, a little castle. This was very inspired by The Little Mermaid. I can't help it. I was like, if I'm going to have little weird mermaid things hanging out here. And listen, I know this isn't the best drawing in the whole world. Okay, any artist out there that says that they have a perfect sketchbook is lying to you. This is not my favorite drawing by any means. However, I freaking love the final result. It is one of my favorite things in the world. It's super cute. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. At first I was like, I don't know. The fish are kind of weird and the mermaids are kind of weird. But this is what I was going for. Like kind of mermaids in the distance, right? Like, you see that picture? It quickly popped up. And then there was also like a monster. Like I wanted like some little monster things in the background, sort of in that, using that black ink, so it was like real dark. Sorry, I had to light a cigarette. I can't talk this long without a cigarette. I can't do it, guys. Sorry. Judge not. Okay? You're so freaking perfect. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. Also, my coffee with sugar in it. Yes, I do that too. Okay, so you can see I went through with an eraser that I cleaned. I cleaned all my erasers. How do erasers get so dirty? I'm telling you, my erasers were so nasty. I don't know how. They sit in a drawer like by themselves. How did they get so dirty? That's an enigma we need to figure out. Do y'all's get dirty, or is it just mine? You'll have to please comment below and tell me that I'm not alone here. Okay, so here's the blue. Oh my God, look at this blue. It is so pretty. You can get every level of freaking blue with this acrylic marker. I may have to buy more of these too. They were really pretty. I don't use acrylic that much, but when you can do it like watercolor and get such a beautiful tone, and the paper took it so pretty, it didn't buckle or it got a little bit nibby on areas where I had to do a lot of layers. However, it wasn't that bad, and I didn't mind it because I'm doing water. Like if I needed it really smooth, it might be a problem. Shark. So see, those were like some of the monsters I was playing with. I was like, oh, it's kind of cute, you know. So again, don't judge my straight lines. This is my horizon that's not actually straight. It's a different horizon, different planet maybe, with not a straight horizon. I don't think that's possible, but yeah, you never know. Aren't we supposed to be learning about aliens soon? So anyways, I'm layering this blue. Okay, I'm layering this blue. The I don't know if I said it or not, but the Edding acrylic marker, it retails for $7.99. It's a new product. Paint wherever, whenever is what it says. It's got a really broad tip. I like a chisel nib because you can use like the points at the tip and get a little bit finer nib, but there's paint in this thing. I mean, it is going to lay some paint down. It's extremely wide. It was very hard to work with on the small paper, which is why I did it the way I did it. But I did end up using it. I mean, if I put a little bit of water down on the paper and then put the marker on there, just like you would do a watercolor marker or a watercolor pencil or something, you could get quite a lot of pigment on that paper very quickly. And I learned that as I went. But originally when I did the blue, I did a very thin layer so I could get that like lighter color blue in there. And also pull out any of the pieces like the fish and the mermaid and the monsters and all that kind of thing. I didn't want blue to be on those because obviously they're going to be different colors. So I just kind of outlined it with a lighter blue. And then the monsters, some of them I put in later. I call them monsters, sea creatures. The sea creatures I put in later. The school of fish that are down here, I wanted them to be very watercolory, but it's probably my least favorite part because, well, you'll see. I wanted it to look like there were a lot of fish, but only have a few in detail. So I tried to put a lot of like little orange dots kind of in the background, but it's such small paper that it sort of bled a little bit. But it's not horrible. It's not really that horrible. And then I also used, in order to get some variations in the blue, I used some of the other colors. Like I mixed some of the brown with them, with the blue, the midnight blue. Midnight blue, is that what color I said it was? Midnight something, I can't remember. Anyhow, I mixed some with the brown Tombow, and then I also mixed some with the orange Tombow. I mean, it was, it worked. It gave me a lot of variations of color. With this very minimal color palette, I was able to do a lot of different things. So anyways, the what was it called? The Edding. The acrylic marker is 5. It says 5 to 10 millimeters. So I guess you can use like the one side and get the thinner, and then the fatter side and get the fatter one. You know how a chisel nib works. And if you don't, you should try it because it's kind of cool. What's funny is I won't buy alcohol markers in chisel nib. I mean, I do. I have a million of them. I shouldn't say I don't buy them. I do buy them. Well, I get them somehow. But I prefer brush markers. But with paint markers, I like having a chisel nib. I don't know why. Maybe if they had them in brush, which I think they do, because they aren't, what are they called? The like white pens, the Posco pens, those are paint markers, right? And they come in brush nibs. I just bought like a whole set of white Posco pens on Amazon for like $11 or something. I couldn't believe I got a whole set for that. And there's like 10 of them, all different sizes and a brush and everything. I might have to buy the black set when I have some, extra quiche sitting around. Because, that's what it does, sit around, right? Okay, so here's my first little mermaid. I know, again, it's not the best drawing in the world. It's supposed to be whimsical and cutesy and kind of like, I don't know, like something that would be in a children's book. Here's my fish. So I am using the fine nib for this because I wanted to outline the ones that I wanted more in detail. I didn't want anything real fancy. I just wanted little goldfish, kind of like the goldfish crackers that you eat. Only they're pinker. They're not as orange. Their eyes got a little big, I'll be honest. But it was fun. I enjoyed doing this. It was just a really fun little activity. Like, you could totally get a couple of these little books. How much are they? They're $7.21, but it'd be kind of a fun kids project to get like some watercolor markers and a few of these little books. And, you could make comic books with them. You could do something like this and do a little scene. I don't know. It was just something different. You could journal. My daughter loves to draw. I got for a long time she didn't. She wasn't very good at it. Okay, I'm not judging. She's 7, but she didn't really love like some of the drawings she'd bring me home from school. And like last year when she was home, I was nervous about it. I was like, oh God, I'm an artist, and she can't even. She drew these like teeny tiny stick figures. It was hysterical. It was like the whole page, and it would cover like maybe, I don't know, a 16th of the page. I'm not even kidding. Not kidding at all. But now she's doing really good, and she's drawing a lot. And so I got her her own set of alcohol markers, which she carries everywhere around with her in her little sketchbook. It's so cute. And I got her a marker sketchbook. And I got her some cheaper ones too, but, because I was like, she's going to go through it probably pretty quick. But she's getting better. She's putting more detail in. And so do you see how I got that like sort of purpley tail color? I thought it was kind of a cool like way to get a mermaid tail. It doesn't have like, I probably could have done some more detail, some blues and stuff. But again, because it was so small, I wanted this to be like blue background, orange characters, some black characters far away in the background, some rocks. And I did do a little area with some, sea corals and things like that. And I did those in like a gray and white. But I may have put a little bit of pink in it, just to get like some variations in tones. And then I did a little jellyfish here, which I put too much water on and had to dab it off with a paper towel. And this is why we do this, because we like to play. So here I'm using the watercolor brush to feather out some of these little fish. And then I decided I didn't love that. I wanted them a little bit darker. But it really gets a little more screwy when I go back in and put some more dark in. I wanted the lighter blue at the top of the snake. Not like all the way at the top, but in this little square. I wanted it to look like that's where the sun was coming in and you were seeing down into the water. So you've got like the rest of the ocean behind it. Then the top of the ocean. And then, it gets darker. But that was a mistake. I should have done it darker to begin with. But the jellyfish came out really good. If I do say so myself, I'm pretty pumped about it. So my snake's got orange eyes, and he's kind of fantasy. He's got a little third eye, which just, for fun, whatever. But I like his face. It's simple. It's super simple. You could do any kind of like diamond shape here or round, or if it's not, you're not trying to do it to make it look like a real snake necessarily. I mean, you want it to obviously have some kind of definition, but if you're having fun with it, you could do pretty much anything with that. So you can see I'm just going through with the orange and filling in, my seahorses. So I did a couple little seahorses. They turned out pretty good too. But I'm basically laying out, a strategy and what's it called? Like a breakdown of where everything's going to be. I wanted him to have some feathery things around him, and he's got a little baby with him. It is kind of hard to see. I do zoom this more, but I just did the shape of a seahorse, with his little snout and his little tail. And when it's all said and done, it looks super cute. But again, I didn't record every little thing. I did, I think what you don't see is the detail that I put into the snake. I go back in and I do layers. So you'll see like I'm doing the base layer now, which you can kind of see I color everything in. Then I do my browns on the rocks. I do the brown and the little tiny bit of orange and a tiny bit of the black, a tiny bit. See, that's my other monster idea. Okay. He was going to be orange, but I ended up making him black because he needed to be in the background more. I just felt he needed to be further back. So anyhow, you can see there I'm working on the rock formation and the castle in the back. And here it is all together, right? You can see that after I put all that in. So, okay, see where the fish are? You can see that there's like some little fish back there. Got a little bit, muddy, but it's not bad. It looks like a school of fish. That's what I was going for. I went back in with my Copic markers and did the detail of the scales all down the snake's body. I did some shadowing so that it looked like he was swirling through the ocean. You can see where I've got like a little dragon character behind there's the snake again. I just had to put him in again. You can see kind of the coloring I was going for there. Anyhow, I got a couple mermaids swimming up to the castle. I've got like a little dragon thing behind them. The shark guy with the teeth behind the snake up above the jellyfish, and the seahorse is there, which I did go back in with darker blues and highlight that more. In this one, you can see the coral area, like below where the mermaids and the seahorses are. And then I'm just kind of showing you how I did the scales. When I do scales, I do them somewhat like even, but of course, if if the snake is turning or curving a certain way, you might need them to be a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, that's it. So you can kind of see here, these are the tools with my Swedish fish, which I got a Swedish fish to go with it. It worked out perfectly. You see, I was testing down there on the tape on my desk, the snake turning and moving around. I like it. You guys help me build my audience. Subscribe, comment, ask me questions. If you like it, please let me know. If you hate it, please let me know. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one. I'm going to work on January now. Love you. Love you. Please send, share, subscribe.